The moment of time is here, guys. It is time to go to the airport, and I am still limped up. I have been icing my foot here pretty much nonstop. I mean, obviously, I've given myself breaks. But since we left, and well, I'm gimped up. So Snow has been doing all of the heavy lifting. Literally, meaning she brought all the bags in, unpacked, packed everything. And now as we go down, she's brought the cart up. She'll do most of the heavy lifting again.
Maybe I can put Curt on the cart.
To get us down there, because I'm still pretty limped up. But anyway, guys, it is time to hop on a plane, go through the airport, and head to Turkey.
Istanbul, we're headed to you.
How are your butterflies, your border butterflies?
You know, I'm okay with this. I mean, the cats, of course, but we've done everything right. We have all of our paperwork. Yeah, I'll get them once we get close to the airport. Those darn butterflies. Border butterflies will never leave us, van or not.
We got to stop and get some gas to top off for the rental car. And then we got to drop the rental car off. And yeah, the journey begins. Or should I say, continues.
Yeah. Big adventure, baby. Big adventure. Good girl. You ready for your big adventure? Are you ready? Here we go.
I'll check.
All this.
You want your drink?
No. You got the door thing?
Yep. What's that? 95?
Cheapest.
The cheap gas.
Use the left lane to take the ramp to N3 Eastern Bypass.
Alright guys, that was quite the ordeal. Turning in the rental car, loading everything up on one of those carts. Curt having to carry some stuff because it all wouldn't fit on the cart. Trying to make sure the cats were on top. About halfway through, a porter saw us and stepped in to help us. Brought us to Turkish Airlines. Somewhere along the way, a wheelchair man saw we desperately needed help too, so he jumped in. And they got us to the check-in counter. And the Turkish Airlines lady, her name was Enzi, and she was really cool. It was super easy to check in the cats. Another wheelchair guy came, Emmanuel, and he was taking us through security, through passport stamping, all the way to the club we're in right now. And he will actually come back when it's time to go to our gate. And to be honest, without that last guy, Emmanuel, I could have never done this by myself with Curt having the bum ankle. He helped me load stuff onto the security stuff. He helped us get through. He was just really awesome. And yes, he was tipped very, very nicely. But we're here in the lounge for about 45 or 50 minutes until he comes back. Enough time to cool down and open up the little extensions we have. Hey buddy, I'm over here. Gee, I'm over here, buddy. Hey buddy. Open up the little extensions, give these guys a little bit more room, and we're gonna take that break. Next step is boarding the airplane to Istanbul. That kicked my ass, and there's just no other word for it. I am drenched in sweat and wore slap out, but it's worth it to get us to our next spot, which is a little bit closer to home for G-Money.
Going flying?
Going flying.
Are you sitting in 7?
Yeah, I'm behind you. Yeah, it's
I'm
like
going to
cute.
apologize. That
He's a little nervous.
I'm going to do everything
That's okay.
I can.
You can always listen to music.
Yay.
Okay, yeah, that's
Good.
But your cat's nice.
His name is G-Money.
Alright, I'm being really quiet. I don't want to disturb my neighbors. We have made it onto the plane. It was another ordeal. I was actually up in 1A, and Curt was in 6A. They separate people with pets. They don't want pets too close together. And 1A had a lot more room, and G-Money's a lot grumpier. So I traded with Curt. Now Vanna, she's good to go right here. But up there, there's this whole little cubby area because it's basically the bulkhead. And they could spread out a little bit more. So I think that was the right move. We'll see if G-Money settles down. He is very grumpy right now. I want to take a minute right here. I'm going to break in because I want to tell you all this later because I want to get all the facts right. So we're going to treat it almost like a commercial, guys, but it is not a sponsored video. It's just something we use, and it's how we got points to fly this flight in the first class section. We didn't pay for this, but here we go. I'm going to tell you about that right now. Before we ever called the Sprinter home, Curt spent years on the road for his career. During that time, we picked up a pretty valuable skill: mastering the world of travel rewards. We got really good at using credit cards and loyalty programs to stack up points. Now, for the past 7 years, we didn't use them nearly as much while we were living in the van, but we were fortunate enough to have a little nest egg of points tucked away. Now, as we transition into the next phase of our travel lifestyle, we're starting to tap into those programs again. In fact, that is exactly how we managed to snag first-class seats for this flight from Johannesburg to Istanbul. Trust us, having that extra space and comfort made a world of difference when you're flying halfway across the globe with 2 cats in tow. Now, there are dozens of programs out there, but one of our absolute favorites over the years has been the Delta American Express card. We love the peace of mind that comes with American Express's travel and security benefits. But for us, the real magic is in the Delta partnership, the upgrades, the free flights, the companion certificates, and those point multipliers that help that point balance really, really grow. But we have to mention one very important thing. If you decide you want to try to grow your points this way, you must pay off your full balance on your credit card at the end of every single month. The goal here is to get free travel or upgraded travel, and you lose that value the second you start paying any kind of interest. Never pay a cent of interest. This is all about the points. Pay that bill off at the end of the month that you put the charges on there. Very important, guys. Now, if you're looking for a place to start, we've put our personal referral link to the Delta American Express here on the screen, and you can also find it in the video description. If you use that link to start your account, we're going to get 5,000 bonus points. I want to be very open and transparent with you guys on that. But American Express is also very good about giving most people their own little gift for signing up and getting a reward. So there's a good chance you could get some bonus points as well. It's a simple way to help support our channel and start growing your points so you can start doing some pretty cool travel too. Now, let's get back to the video. Welcome to Turkey. Yeah. You mean to carry the bag, Curtie? The good news is we made it to Istanbul. The bad news is it has been an absolutely terrible first 10 minutes here in this airport. Curt's ankle is likely broken because it's not feeling like a sprain. And We had ordered the wheelchair service. We had 2 wheelchair people leave us, tell us a buggy will come. A buggy came, ignored us, picked up people that were sitting next to us, almost made the little girl, who might be 10 or 11, walk so her mom could be the only one on the buggy. And as you can see behind me, Curt has to walk. So, good job, Turkish Airlines. Good job, Istanbul. I got nothing to say, but this is pretty absolutely shitty. Really bad. I literally just flagged down another empty wheelchair dude, asked if we could get some help for my husband, and he just pointed for us to keep walking. When obviously Curt can barely freaking walk. Sorry guys. I was expecting this to be a happy welcome to Turkey vlog, but you ain't getting that out of us this morning. Another wheelchair leaves us. Well, we're probably about halfway there. We've stopped at a Turkish Airlines desk. I had yet another wheelchair guy pretty much ignore me. We've asked for help. I don't think we're getting it. We were told to wait. We don't bitch about service too much, but this has been really, really bad. There's another one.
We usually have great luck with travel, but the ground staff here for Turkish Airlines really dropped the ball with Curt's wheelchair assistance request. And between the lack of help and some flat out rudeness, we were pretty frazzled by the time we walked out of the airport terminal to the curb. But once we piled into our cab and started the drive into the city, the mood started to shift. The sun began to rise over the skyline just as we had reached our district, our neighborhood, the Beyoğlu, Beyoğlu district. It's a beautiful historic area, but man, these streets are narrow, winding, and incredibly steep. Definitely going to be a challenge for Curt's ankle if that thing doesn't get better pretty quick. Now, between our red-eye flight overnight, navigating the airport with Vanna and Chi, and the physical toll on Curt from having to walk through the Istanbul airport, we are just absolutely spent. We have finally made it to our Airbnb, and now the plan is simple: sleep. Honestly, we may sleep for a week, guys. Who knows? We'll be back once we've recovered from a little bit of this jet lag.
I'm sure you guys already know we took the red eye and we were slap worn out. But I woke up and I had a lot of pain in my ankle. The swelling was increasing. It was getting worse. And fortunately, with the appointments that we had already scheduled over at the American Hospital here in Istanbul, Zainab was able to get me in to see the orthopedic doctor. And he was a pretty cool doctor, and he was very diligent. He looked at it and he said, look, Curt, we got to run some tests on this. We need to check your veins. So what do they call that?
Like an ultrasound to make sure there were no blood clots.
And we need to do some x-rays and all those tests. And fortunately, I was able to go down and get those tests done right there.
Yeah, and let me just interject here for a second, because we haven't really told y'all. In the last video, we told you we planned on doing a lot of our healthcare checkups here in Istanbul before we headed back towards the United States. And when we decided to do that, I reached out to the American Hospital, which has the international department that Curt just mentioned, and we got hooked up with Zainab, who is this awesome lady who was helping us to coordinate all of the health checkups we wanted to do. So we were very fortunate to already have a contact when this ankle emergency came up. Curt's getting all his blood work, and there's like an hour delay waiting on the results and stuff. And if you also back up to our last video, if you missed it, you may not know, or you may not remember, that we just found out our poor little old man, G-Money, has been diagnosed with kidney disease. And that requires very special diet, some very special veterinary prescription type food. So I did a lot of researching on Google and found a vet office, luckily a few blocks away from the hospital here, where they have the food he needs. So while Curt was getting all of that done, I took a stroll through the very steep hills here to the vet, and I bought every can they had. So he's good on his food for a little while while we figure out what else is going on.
Yeah.
And then your blood test came back.
Yeah, and again, one of the reasons why we went to Istanbul, Turkey, was for the medical care, the cost, and also the efficiency. And it proved, even though this was not a planned visit, that we made the right decision, because within an hour, maybe 2 hours, they had my blood results back. In case you guys are wondering, I tested negative for gout, which is one of the things that you get extreme pain in your feet that you might be thinking about. So no gout. However, my I forget what the numbers are.
Infection markers,
I had some infection markers that were a little bit high, and clearly I had the inflammation. The sonogram came back where I didn't have any deep vein thrombosis, meaning I didn't have any clotting or any circulating issues that could be associated with the swelling. And also the look at the x-rays didn't show anything either.
No.
So the doctor's prognosis was, we really don't know what's going on here. We need to get the swelling down, and we need to do an MRI. They put me on some antibiotics, oral antibiotics, some anti-inflammatories.
Yeah, and some stuff he put on to like soak into his skin. So Curt hung out there at the international office while Zainab took me across the street to the pharmacy and helped us get going there, which was really nice that she did that. Picked up his medicine.
They gave me a boot.
Yeah, a boot and some crutches
to stabilize it. And I've got to take these. I've got to take my medicines for a week, and then I go back and see how things are going to go.
Yeah. So.
But look, guys, we were super excited to take you guys around Istanbul. We're going to do the best that we can, but keep in mind, at least for the time being, my mobility is really, really hampered. I am in a lot of pain, and definitely am in restricted mobility.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh, you're so pretty. Yes, you are. Bye-bye.
Now we are currently in the back of the car that the hospital provides to take us back and forth from the hospital to our Airbnb. And after a long morning, it feels good to sit down. And this is actually the first time we've been able to clear our heads and really look out the window at Istanbul. As we drive from the neighborhood around the American hospital back towards our neighborhood, the contrast is just incredible. You go from these ultra-modern, polished medical and business hubs into pockets that feel like they haven't changed in centuries. It's this wild mix of trendy boutiques, ancient stone walls, polished skyscrapers, and bustling tourist squares, and little restaurants and food stands are all over the place. It is a lot to take in, especially when you're already a bit overwhelmed. Now we sit here watching the traffic. It's hard to wrap your brain around just how massive this place is. Istanbul is home to over 15 million people. To put that into perspective, that's more than the entire population of some European countries. And New York City only has just over 8 million people. so Istanbul is almost double the size of New York City. It's sprawling, vibrant, and loud in the best way possible, and it's old. I mean, really old. This city was founded in around 660 BC, which means people have been building a life on these hills and on these streets for over 2,600 years. It served as the capital of 4 different empires: the Romans, the Byzantines, the Latins, and the Ottomans. Everywhere you look, there's a layer of history buried under modern pavement. But the thing that makes Istanbul truly unique in the world is its geography. This is the only city on Earth that straddles 2 continents. The Bosphorus Strait splits the city right down the middle, with one half sitting in Europe and the other in Asia. When you drive across the bridge here, it's quite literally possible that you're driving between 2 different worlds. It's the ultimate crossroads of culture, religion, and trade. You can hear the call to prayer echoing from a 500-year-old mosque while sitting next to someone ordering a latte at Starbucks. It's the place where the Silk Road meets the digital age. A few other cool things we've learned. Istanbul is famous for its cats. They are the unofficial rulers of the city. They are everywhere, and as cat people, we definitely approve. It's also home to the Grand Bazaar, one of the oldest and largest covered markets in the world, with over 4,000 stalls. And despite being a massive metropolis, it has over 2,300 mosques dotting the skyline, giving the city its iconic silhouette of domes and minarets. It's a city that demands your attention and respects your curiosity. We're exhausted, and it looks like we've got a long road of recovery ahead for Curt's ankle. But looking out this window, it's hard not to feel lucky that we ended up here. We're finally back at the Airbnb, and we're taking a quiet minute to just breathe and enjoy the real reason we chose this specific spot here in the city. Istanbul is the massive, sprawling city where apartments are squished together into every available inch. But we managed to find one with a hidden gem: a garden. It's completely enclosed, private outdoor space, which is basically a dream come true for Vanna and G Money. Now, we probably could have found a place on a higher floor with a balcony and a sweeping view of the skyline, but we love our kitties, and it wasn't even a hard sacrifice to choose a basement apartment with no views if it meant giving them this safe little piece of outside world to enjoy. And now that the cats have had their outdoor time and they're settled in for the afternoon, it's time for us to walk up this steep hill to the famous Istanbul pedestrian street to grab some groceries and a bit of lunch.
How is it?
Good. It's got really good flavor.
So Snow got the chicken doner, which is like chicken on the skewer and heated, and the guy shaves it really thin. And I got the meat, and we also got the soup. And
The soup is so good.
it's like kind of almost like maybe like a ground bean, eggplant.
Good.
I don't know what's in it. It's got some flavors that, quite frankly, I'm not used to. But it was a good morning, guys. We got up here, we got groceries. It is a steep climb out of our apartment, and especially with my boot and crutches, it's tough. But we are loaded with groceries,
Yeah.
and I gotta tell you, it's gonna be a challenge carrying these back the apartment. The only good news is it's downhill, and well, I have a boot, so that helps tremendously. But we're gonna enjoy this this food, our first meal,
Our first real meal here.
and yeah, we're excited to explore this city.
If you liked this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us a lot. And if you want to see more of our videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you know when new videos come out. We'll see you guys in a few days from somewhere out here in the world. Cheers.